Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're going to go over a few different things here in regard to our weekend weather, as well as some storm potential we are watching, along with a big warm up coming for early next week. So, first and foremost, welcome to the stream. My name is Ryan with Michigan Storm Chasers. Let's go ahead and dive in here, starting with our weather ongoing right now in the state of Michigan. So, currently, we had a good day today in the southern part of the state. Northern part of the state, though, we have this cold air we see on these models that comes dipping right in. We're going to be cold tonight and also parts of tomorrow as well. We're going to be probably in the 20s, and there's isolated snow showers out there right now. Not expecting anything accumulating, nothing like that, but there is some taste of winter weather in the state tonight, depending on where you're at. I know we have some snow on the west side of Michigan as well as central Michigan as well. So overall, taste of winter for tonight into tomorrow. Some snow showers likely, no accumulation possible. Heading into the weekend for Sunday, we do warm up just a little bit better here. We see temperatures right around that 45-degree mark for Sunday, and then that's going to stick around into Monday. Monday warms up a bit further into the 50s. There we go. We see 50s and 60s just off here to our south and west. We do reach 50 over here in West Michigan. Then up in the UP in northern Michigan, we see 30s, high 30s, low 40s, maybe mid 40s as well. And then as we get into Tuesday, here's the big focus on Tuesday, especially with warmth and also some storm potential. These warm temperatures do not go away. These temperatures hang around. They warm even further on Tuesday, reaching the upper 50s, likely going to hit low to mid 60s for a majority of the state. But look what's off to the west. You see that blue color there? That is a very sharp cold front. Temperatures on the warm side of that front, we're hitting 60s and 70s here in Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa. But over here in Kansas and Nebraska and Minnesota, they're in the 20s. A 40 to 50 degree difference between that cold front. That is a significant cold front, very sharp, very strong cold front. That's going to push through the area with those warmer temperatures there, crosses into Michigan, ushers in a very cold air mass very quickly, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Timing on that still not completely nailed down, but late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, cold front arrival looks to be the case. But the focus on this is still going to be on the storm potential. Now, again, temperatures. I think the European model. I'm going to start overlaying a few things on your screen here. The European model, I believe, has the best handle on temperatures. We do see those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s statewide, or should I say, lower peninsula wide. UP, I'm sorry for you guys up there. It's gonna be warm, but not as warm as down here in the lower peninsula. I think we're going to see mid to upper 60s widespread. The focus for storm potential has been the highlight of the comment sections and the inboxes that we've gotten from you guys. Is there going to be severe weather? Is there going to be tornadoes, stuff like that? So let's go ahead and break this down as best as possible. I want to preface, whatever you want to say. I want to preface this by saying, number one, we are still 4-5 days away from this setup. Things are not nailed down to a T yet, okay? So all what I'm about to say here is subject to change. I'm going to go over what the models are currently showing, starting with the current condition. Again, the temperatures you see on your screen there. We're going to go ahead and look at our ingredients. We call it slim, shear, lift, instability, and moisture, the 4 ingredients necessary to get severe weather. So you're looking at your warmth, but what about our what about wind shear? What about instability and stuff like that? So let's go ahead and go through this. Temperatures, mid 60s are dew points. I did not upload the dew points. So we're going to take a peek at dew points over here. For some reason, I'll go ahead and take this off your screen. This is your dew points on the European model. Your moisture content is going to be significant. We see a push of green and blue colors pushing into these areas here. That is your moisture working its way northward during the day on Tuesday, a very moist air mass for this time of year. Moisture is good. Instability, let's take a peek at that. So instability right now on the European model is currently showing the highest amounts in the southern part of the state. Likely, we're going to need about 500 plus joules of surface-based CAPE or instability. And we see that highlighted there across parts of West Michigan and also most of southern Michigan there. This is at 4 p.m. during the day on Tuesday. And we go ahead and fast forward into the evening. That axis of better instability is now pushed further north into central Michigan. What that likely is a surge of moisture due to the low level jet kinking up moisture from the south. Here's your winds, okay? At the lowest level, these purple colors here are your transport are your winds that are going to be transporting moisture and also that warm air from the Gulf of Mexico further north. These purple colors are a very significant low-level jet that we see at the lowest level of the atmosphere. But we go a little bit further into the atmosphere, we're going to see this trough that's looking really, really nice. We see these reds and purples out here, really strong. But what we see up here is where these lo- this line here of purple here is correlating very well to the instability and also the storms that are currently modeled on the European model. We flip over here to the radar. This is going to be at 7 p.m. in the evening. It overlaps very well is what I'm trying to get at here. The dew points, the moisture, the instability, the wind shear, it's overlapping very nicely currently in central and southern parts of Michigan. So what does that mean for now? It's something to watch. Okay. This isn't going to be nailed down. Models have been kind of back and forth all week. It's been trending the same though. And that same trend is Michigan, especially southern Michigan, is going to have a risk for some thunderstorms. And if we get enough instability, likely going to have a shot at some strong potential severe weather. I'm not going to say in terms of threats just yet, but right now it's looking like we're going to have at least some type of threat. In fact, the SPC day 5 risk does include the very extreme portion of southwest Michigan here. We see Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren counties in that 15% slight risk on day 5. Now, it's likely we're going to see this shift and adjusted as we get closer. These outlooks are issued right around the 2 to 3 a.m. time frame. So we're not going to know the update on this until tomorrow morning. But usually with these, assuming that this is going to be the case, let's just say it's day 1, it's Tuesday, we wake up, we see this. Likely we're going to see a marginal risk surrounding that slight risk. So it's likely we're going to have some type of risk in Michigan for severe weather. It's just going to be a matter of when the storms arrive, if we can get instability, if we can get moisture. So a few things we're concerned about with this overall setup is first and foremost, how far will instability go? We do have some concern because we're getting moist air from the Gulf of Mexico pushing north. We're seeing a storm complex, so to speak, to our south in Missouri and Arkansas areas, that the moisture may get cut off by those storms further south. If that happens, it'll make it difficult for moisture to push further north into the Great Lakes region. If that happens, the overall threat for storms and severe weather will go down. Okay. That is kind of tied into the first 2 points there. How far north can that go? And if is it going to get cut off? Because the moisture is going to be vital to these storms and also severe weather potential. What threats? We have no idea what threats they're going to be. Could it be wind? Could it be hail? Could it be tornadoes? We don't know. At this point, if I had to throw something out there, I'm going to say a dominant wind threat, but we're still 5 days out. We're not going to lock anything in. Exact timing of the cold front arrival and exact timing peak heating would be awesome for severe weather here in Michigan. But right now it's looking to kind of be later in the evening. If it's a later in the evening overnight event, again, we lose daytime heating, instability goes down, severe potential goes down. Okay. What we do know about this system, though, is it's very dynamic. For February, it is not an uncommon system to get this dynamic and this strong. Usually, with this time of year, though, it'd be snow. But because of El Nino, the overall pattern, we have warm air instead of cold air. This system is not uncommon to see, but it is uncommon to see the warm temperatures that are being forecast, especially on Tuesday when we're going to get into the mid to upper 60s. I don't think we're going to touch 70, but I'm going to say there's going to be a small chance we're going to do that. Back to the what we do know, it's going to be warm. It's also going to rain. A cold front of this magnitude with the moisture, even if moisture does get cut off, it is likely we're going to see rain with this. And on the backside of that, we may see some brief bursts of snow showers. But again, with the ground temperatures being so warm and also just the rain before, I'm not expecting any accumulations for the lower peninsula, but we could see some for the UP, especially with the European model does show 4 to 8 inches in spots in the northern part of the UP. We'll have more updates on that later, but the UP especially will likely get some snow that will accumulate from this system. But on the backside of the cold front on Wednesday morning, there could be some snow showers around, but it's just not expecting anything accumulating. Then last thing I'll cover here, excuse me, last thing I'll cover here is the temperature split here. For people with sinus issues, people with headaches, people with we call them human barometers, so to speak. Excuse me. These temperature gradients here in Michigan are going to be extreme. This is a model Wednesday morning, right around 10 a.m. We see the east half of Michigan right around 60 degrees. But if you go to the west half of Michigan, you're in the 20s and sometimes teens. The UP here forecasted in single digits. Okay, this is a very sharp cold front here. It's going to be a significant change of weather. That is all I have to say for that particular cold front. With that being said, though, I'll go ahead and take the overlay off your screen here. I'll go ahead and put this one back on for the SPC Day 5 risk. Again, we'll have an update on the page for this tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and hop over to the comment section here. I see a few people commenting. Let me go ahead and read through these here. Hello, everybody. Let's see here again. 5 days out from this, we are still locking this down. This is far from certain from happening. It's just an overall idea. It has been shown on some models for about 10 days now. And it's just getting more and more confidence with this. And there is some questions between the GFS and European model that we need to answer first. But overall, we're pretty confident in this system trending at least for some rain, storm, and maybe some snow up in the UP as well. So the areas I see a lot of people asking for like severe for particular areas. So if I had to guess at this point in time, if we go back here to our instability model and product here, I'm going to say the better threat is probably going to be from Grand Rapids over to the Flint to Port Huron line. That would be the highest threat, and then point south of there to the border. So up to Grand Rapids, up to Flint, up to Port Huron, and the area south would have the highest potential. The further north you go, the less instability there is. So if there's going to be severe weather, it's going to be more likely the further south you go, just because the instability is working up from the south, and that's likely going to be the case. Send thoughts and prayers to your human barometers on Wednesday. Yes. Yeah, that gradient is very sharp there. Go taking that back really quickly to look at that. It's the temperatures in East Michigan, 60 degrees, and then also um, back to the west there, 20 degrees. It's 40-degree differences in some spots. That's significant. It's going to happen very quickly. It's a very fast-moving cold front. So it's a possibility, Tina. Be probably Tuesday night for right now, but the exact timing is still up in the air. Any other questions, guys? If there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here fairly quickly here. Just wanted to hop on and give a short, brief synopsis. We'll be live again probably on Sunday evening. We do a weekly Sunday hangout where we talk about the long term, the upcoming week, stuff like that. We did mention this day actually on last Sunday's live stream. So we'll dive into this again, combine it with our weekly and also long term outlook on Sunday. I'll go ahead and say 7 to 8 p.m. around that time frame. We'll go live again. And we'll go ahead and hash this out again on Sunday. And then if it still looks like it's going to affect Michigan, we'll go live again on Monday. And we'll have updates, of course, forecast, and everything you guys need to know on our page. What are we expecting tomorrow in the next outlook? I'm not expecting anything. Looking at the current models today, I think the SPC Day 5 risk does encompass this pretty well. If there's going to be a change, it's probably going to be shifted, I'm going to say a little bit further north into Michigan, I'm going to say. I'm just not sure how far, but the overall, it did shift from yesterday's outlook. It did shift a little bit further east. Looking at models today, I like the placement of this. I'm pretty confident in that area. Again, we don't add marginal and general thunderstorm risk to this map until the day 3 outlook. So we're not going to see what SPC is going to be thinking in terms of marginal risks yet, which is the lowest type of risk. It goes marginal to slight, enhanced, moderate, and high. So we're likely going to see marginal risk in Michigan at the very least. But again, for tomorrow's outlook, I'm going to expect that slight risk to stay right about the same, if not get extended a little bit further north there, just given some more confidence that happened today. We'd also still have the 00Z model runs to go through. They come out here in the next 3 to 4 hours. So they're going to have that to look at as well. So it could trend a certain way that they may not, they'll probably make decisions based off that model run as well. So In terms of more specifics, yes, I'm going to say Sunday night into Monday, we're going to be locking this thing down in terms of timing, in terms of threats. Although I think there's always going to be a concern here for that moisture cutoff we talked about, just because we don't really know about that moisture cutoff until the day of. We have to kind of look at our moisture returns and see if the models are handling it pretty well. But overall, I think we're going to be locking down threats and timing. It's just going to be a matter of if that moisture can arrive, which is going to be the big, big question mark, even up until Tuesday morning, looking at everything. That's gonna be the big question mark. Yeah, Caleb, 00Z party. Capping inversion on the GFS could be a problem. Now, this is more of a deep meteorological term. Capping inversion basically would just limit the overall storm potential and also severe storm potential. But with that cap, I think the GFS is a little bit too aggressive with that capping. I think we're going to be a little bit less capped, especially with the warm air that's being forecasted here on the surface and also with the moisture. I just think we're going to see a significant erosion of that cap the later on you get, especially with that LLJ, low jet that kicks in later on the evening. I think it's going to erode pretty easily. But I do see that. I do see your concern there. All right, guys. I don't see much in the way of any more questions here. With that being said, Tina asked, are tornadoes possible? Tornadoes at this point, I'm going to say it's up in the air still. Now, for Michigan in particular, I don't want to lock anything in, but I do want to recognize there is, I believe, a discussion posted from the Northern Indiana Weather Office that did mention the possibility of tornadoes. I think it was either them or Chicago's office, one of the two. So there is a chance. We are seeing some good wind shear with these profiles, but again, I don't want to lock that in just yet because there's a lot of concern with instability. It takes a lot to get tornadoes, and shear is just one thing. So it's a possibility, but I think we're going to lock that in a little bit better on Sunday for sure. All right, guys, no more questions I see in chat here, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button on your way out.